Hello and welcome to the Loose Butthole Reviews. I am your host Smokey, and joining with me as always is my co-host Spooge.
Oh,
And joining us on this review is our co-host Murda. Oh no.
hello.
I couldn't, I couldn't unmute myself. Okay. Hi. I got it now. I got it. I got it.
Okay.
Nice.
Hello.
And like always, before we get into the review proper, I have to give the 3 rules of the rating system of the Loose Butthole Reviews. The first rule is it must be a fraction of 5. 1 means you hate it, 5 means you love it. Rule number 2, if you want your money back, you give it a good old Jeff Goldblum. Rule number 3, if we all agree that it deserves a 6 out of 5, a God tier, then it will get a God tier. And today we are reviewing the movie Sergeant Pepper's Lonely Hearts Club Band.
From
Yeah.
1978.
Yes.
Starring the Bee Gees and Peter Frampton.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah. Hell
Here
oh,
we are,
rain.
Rangers,
There's a little
standing in the dark. I don't. What is the line next?
something. It's something.
Well, I had to follow you.
We did our 5 seconds.
But
We'll
you.
get copyright. We'll get copyright.
That's why.
That's all you get. That's all you get.
That's why you never catch me singing. It's like I just don't want to risk it.
I always try to cut it off at 5 seconds.
On the YouTube copyright.
Until I don't. Or I try to warp my voice to where it's like almost illegible.
So this is the last movie of Murda's birthday picks, even though we're in the tail end of July and Murda's birthday month was in June. But that's okay. We're taking things easy. We're taking things slow
Yeah, I mean,
as we
Mhm.
need to go.
I feel we should let these cook a little bit longer and
We
instead of
should let
rushing
them
them.
cook, and this movie has cooked into a feast, I will say,
Mhm. Oh
into an
yeah.
upcoming feast.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
This movie has sparked an upcoming bonanza.
A great
it,
banana.
it has sparked a great journey that I have personally taken that I'm so fucking glad that I took.
Yes, I'm very glad that you took too, and I'm glad to also revisit. And that will become this mania that we're having will be coming in full force next weekend. So just tune
Yeah,
in for that fucking shit.
I
But
have
this is the
one.
start. This is the start.
Yes, I have one more journey to get through. That's a hard day's night. Once I get through that journey, we'll be good to go.
Yeah, so
Good.
this was my last movie pick, and then so this is not Sergeant Pepper's Lonely Hearts Club Band is not an official Beatles movie. We use all songs, Beatles songs, but the Beatles had absolutely nothing to do with this movie. The Beatles are not in it. They did not do anything. There was just this started as a Broadway play where they got the rights to 29 Beatles songs.
That must have been a
Years
challenge.
later, it became a movie.
Yeah.
Yes.
The
It's been
tribute.
historically very hard to get the rights to Beatles songs, which I was easier back in the day, but I know since it was Michael Jackson like his shit got all the rights to the Beatles songs like I don't
Hmm.
know if it was in the 90s or something, so it was like even harder
Oh
to get
yeah.
the rights to Beatles songs.
I forgot about that.
Yeah, so like
Then he died, so I don't know who
sometimes
has that.
yeah, I don't know what the state of it is, but they've always been hard to get. You gotta
Yeah,
pay a lot of money for that shit too.
but probably easier if you're a BG Beck before that happened.
Yeah, and I'm thinking it was probably easier before um, the Michael Jackson estate owned them.
Yeah.
Um, but anyway, yeah, it was a Broadway play, which I would have loved to see because like I don't know what was that? What was this play?
I
I
can
have no
see it.
I have no idea.
I can see it being a play, a musical play
Well,
that they're using the.
I can see it being a play too, but I just wonder how faithful it was to this movie.
hmm
Um, but
It's
anyway,
probably
the
super
stars.
close. I wouldn't be surprised
Yeah,
if
I could
like
feel. Yeah.
all the sets were like probably a one for one rip and everything. I wouldn't be surprised at all.
hmm
Yeah, but what is so surprising is so like this movie, the marketing for this movie was so like prestigious. Like it was supposed to be the Gone with the Wind of their generation and like this like big
That
masterpiece,
makes no
like this
sense.
serious thing. But like if it was already a play, wouldn't people know what it was? Like if it was in any way similar? Like I don't know understand I wasn't alive in that time. I don't know, but why was it such a surprise if there was already a play that was similar to this? I don't know.
I've never
I
seen Gone with the Wind, but I don't think it has anything like this.
Yeah, it just that's
No.
what I don't understand is why would people compare it to Gone with the Wind? It
I
just
just know that the guy
I
doesn't
mean
give a
the
goddamn at the end.
no, I think the comparison is just like this is a great movie. Like this is the movie, the like art masterpiece movie of that century or that
hmm
generation. So this was
Okay.
like the way that this was
It's
advertised
Citizen
is like
Kane.
this is yeah, this is going to be like a Citizen Kane. This is going to
don't
change
get me
film
started.
history. I've never seen Citizen Kane, but I feel like I would be like fucking
I
snooze
said it
fest.
purposely to trigger him.
It fucking sucks. Goddamn fucking
But
sucky ass
you know what
movie.
I mean. Like, I don't think they were comparing it to Gone with the Wind. I'm just saying, like, this is gonna be the like prestige movie of
mm,
this the 70s or
yeah,
whatever the fuck.
it
That's
wasn't,
Um,
probably
unfortunately.
where
and then
they
it wasn't.
miss. Yeah, that's probably where they
Oh, they
messed up.
fucked up.
Because people were
They
going,
fucked up.
oh, this is going to be like Gone with the Wind. And they go to the movie theater and it's nothing like Gone with the Wind. So you're like, the fuck?
What this movie turned out to be was a campy ass romp with Beatles songs,
hmm
like which is awesome in its own right. But no, that you can't take this movie seriously. I feel like that was a problem. Like everyone thought this was going to be such a serious movie, and
hmm
it was not. They
Yeah.
weren't they weren't ready for the camp. I think if they were ready for the camp, I mean, maybe it still wouldn't have had the best reception, but like people wouldn't been quite as angry.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Careers
I, I
might
just,
not have been as destroyed.
I, I
Because
feel
Jaws came
that,
out in the 70s, and it came actually before this movie.
yeah, I feel that if they marketed it correctly, then it would have been a success. I strongly feel
Yeah.
just
Apocalypse Now, Rocky
This
Horror Picture Show,
I was about to say this reminds me of Rocky Horror Picture Show. When did that come out? That's 75. This is
75.
only 3
Yeah.
years later. So,
hmm
but I mean, was that a success at the time? Rocky
Rocket
Horror
Picture.
Picture Show?
No, if I'm not mistaken, that's like the
Like
cult
it's a
classic.
success, like it's a cult classic now, but like
Yeah.
back in the day, how was it received?
I
I
feel
don't know.
not by the mainstream American audience for sure. I mean,
Yeah.
We're talking about now. I just to confirm, we're talking about the one where like if you go to a viewing now, you like gotta bring a plastic spoon because you gotta throw it at the screen at certain times and shit like that. Like it,
Yeah.
yeah.
like the viewing
Particip-
itself is part of the
audience participation.
yeah.
Yes.
There's an artistic element
It's an
to watching it now.
experience. It's an experience,
I
not
Which
just a
just,
show. It's an
I do
experience.
want to fucking
yes,
go and
I mean,
experience that. That'd be cool.
Hell yeah.
just like a little blurb, just of like looking up how the Rocky Horror Picture Show was received. Just says, for example, the Rocky Horror Picture Show suffered from very small audiences and poor critical reception when it was first released. So I think, I think that's kind of the same thing. Like l later on, it has like this big. Not that I'm saying this movie, the Sergeant Pepper, has the success that Rocky Horror Picture Show has now. It doesn't. But like
Hmm.
back in the day, it was also not appreciated, and now it is.
Hmm.
So back in the day, this movie was not appreciated. Here I am appreciating it now, but not everyone feels the same. It still has a very bad score on Rotten
Oh shit.
Tomatoes, and like I am what?
Go on. No, go on. Go on.
I was just gonna
Mine's
say it just IMDb. That's all that you
yeah, yeah.
interrupted.
Okay. And
It's
also,
got a
because I
bad
feel
it's
like
got a bad rating.
also just going with that weird like I feel like the movie that was the change of the 70s already happened, and it was 1973, and it was The Exorcist, which literally shifted American culture like for the
Yeah.
worst.
Yeah, entire
That
American culture, like
that is a good
not only
point.
film but also religions itself.
Yeah,
So,
because yeah, that just popularized like the fanatical like religion,
yeah.
like of like the satanic panic and stuff. So I feel like the important movie of the 70s already happened.
Yeah. Let's
Gone
see,
with the Wind,
Rotten.
apparently. Whatever that means.
But it's got a Rotten Tomato audience score of 44%, and let's see, on IMDb it's got a 4.2 out of 10. But I feel like I am optimistic. If you showed this movie, like I don't think it has the like playback that Rocky Horror Picture Show does. Like I don't think it's as available.
Hmm. Yeah,
Like this movie's kind of hard to like seek out and find.
yeah.
I
Not many
think
people I don't think know this one.
I know that it would be hard to establish, but I think there has to be an element like the Rocky Picker Horror Show, because the reason why that's a cult classic now and people love it so much is more or less the viewing experience you get with going and watching it live now.
Yeah.
You're a part of the movie, basically. And I feel if there
And I
were
mean,
like certain rituals and stuff that the audience were supposed to do while you watch, like you
it's that it's that plus it's such a like queer icon movie,
Hmm.
which I
For
can't
sure.
I can't say about this Sergeant Pepper. I can't say that
No.
about this film. I mean, there's nothing anti, but there's like nothing,
No.
we don't have a Frankenfurter in this movie.
no, we
No.
got some
Yeah.
gimp bots though. We got two gimp
It's
bots.
not
You
purposeful.
have some gift bots.
Those were accidental. They didn't...
Nobody gives the gimp bots their due.
No.
They
But
oh
hey, everyone has always hated robots.
they're so they're not. I don't think they're robots.
But I
I
feel like
think
if
that
you
nasty old
love
man
like
just got two prisoners. I just think he's got two prisoners in his RV.
you don't think they're robots, you think they're people.
Yeah, because they
Just getting
help the band.
shocked.
I'm jumping ahead, but they help the fucking band.
It'd be
Well,
sentient
if you
AI.
like if you like camp, if you like music of the Beatles covered well by other artists, you love the Bee Gees, such as I. Um, if you love just like weird fucking awesome musical, then you will like this movie.
If you need
So,
something, if you got a group of people together and you need something to journey to have a little trip on something that I can't suggest doing because of the platform we're on. But
A little mind trip, a little
if you're
legal
yeah,
mind
if you're
trip.
expanding your mind,
Legal.
it's
Legal.
it's definitely a good one to watch. I'm I'm probably not gonna ever trip and watch it alone per se, but it's definitely something good to trip as a group. Like, oh, this is something.
Yeah.
It's very campy. It gets very trippy, and it that with the
And that,
cameos, the cameos make it
oh,
so.
the
It's like, oh,
cameos are
what the
great.
fuck? It's like, is that am I tripping or am I actually seeing that motherfucker like this?
The cameos are amazing, and like I feel like there's a whole genre of this type of movie where like pretty like successful musical artists are like doing these like kind of weird musical movies.
Mhm.
I think they
And
need
they're
to be
like
done
mostly in the
more.
like 70s and 80s.
Yeah,
Mhm.
I think they need to be done more in modern day. I don't think musical
Yeah.
Oh,
artists
for
does this
sure.
kind of stuff anymore. Like they, I
There's
don't think.
that there's that Paul Williams ones that we really need to watch. I haven't watched, but it's like a sexy Paul Williams movie that we need to watch. It's like The Phantom of something. I don't remember what
Oh,
it's
the
called.
Phantom of Paradise? It's
Yeah.
like a
We
horror
need to
one
watch
too,
that.
yeah.
Yeah. We need to watch that, but it's like in the same vein as that. Like we gotta watch
Mhm.
that shit. It's like a whole type. It's like a whole genre of movie that I feel like is it never gets like the mainstream watch.
Mhm. Prince movies too.
Prince, yeah, it's like kind of in the same vein of like Under the Cherry Moon, which was our first review with me and Starfish. So
Oh yeah.
it's definitely that genre of movie, which I
Mhm.
mean that movie was fucking sweet. So
Yeah.
also but not critically well received.
No. Didn't need to be.
It didn't need, that's true. It didn't need to be. This
Same with
movie
this
will live
one.
in our hearts. It'll live in our fucking
Mhm.
hearts.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, the,
We don't
this
need the fucking validation of the popular audience, do we?
No. They don't know
yeah
what's going on.
we're the ultimate deciders of what's good and what's not.
Yeah. We are the ultimate fucking deciders of taste.
Yeah, if you ever wanted to know what's objectively good, you're in the right channel, buddy. You're in the right channel. Welcome to the secrets of the goddamn universe, right?
And next weekend we'll have more Secrets of the Goddamn Universe because we just went into a whole
Oh, you,
Beatles
you
rabbit
don't.
hole.
You putting me on the spot because I want to fucking talk about it, but I can't. I gotta
But
keep
we
it.
can't. We have to separate them. We got to separate them. We were wrong to ever try to review these movies together because this is not in the same it might be in the same vein like you might
I
enjoy
mean,
all these movies together.
they're all you can and it's great. I
Yeah, that's
do.
what I'm saying. But like
I
this is
say
not a Beatles official movie.
Yeah.
if you are going to put a random artist in between, like find a movie that 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 Prince made or something, and splice it in between doing this. And for the viewers, we're talking about watching Yellow Submarine and Magical Mystery Tour with this movie. Splice it
And
in
Hard Day's Night.
between because I just for the people who have a little issue with repetitiveness. Once you start hearing the same song 3 times, you're like, kind of need to start doing something else right now, and that gets stronger when you're expanding your
Hmm.
mind. So
But luckily, you'd only
just to
hear it
break
two
up the
times, probably
repetition
at
a little
most.
bit.
Yeah, because it's two. I think it's two different albums that are covered in different movies, at least, and you'd probably get your doubles in Sergeant Pepper's. You know.
You get your doubles, but they're done by different artists, at
Hmm. It's
least.
true too. Yeah. True, true.
But anyway, should I get to the storyline here?
Yes, yes. That's.
This
I think we were supposed to start with
this the fucking plot of this movie, it so takes a backseat to just watching this movie. You don't need to watch this movie for any sort of plot. It doesn't make sense. You don't have to follow the plot.
I beg to differ.
it.
I beg
Okay.
to differ.
I
He got
don't
the whole plot
because
going when he was on his own and in the mind space he was there.
I know the fucking plot.
Okay, well, I'm just gonna go ahead and read this plot summary, and then you go ahead and once I'm done with this, you tell me your plot then.
Okay.
All right, we're starting here. Ever since they were sent into World War I battle in 1918, Sergeant Pepper and his Lonely Hearts Club Band of Heartland, USA have been spreading the message of joy and love to the world, which has made the band and Heartland famous. Since Sergeant Pepper's death in 1958, which we see in the movie, the band's instruments have been housed on display at Heartland City Hall as symbols of love and joy. Before his death, Sergeant Pepper asked his adolescent grandson, Billy Shears, to form Peter Frampton, by the
Mhm.
way, to form his own band and in order to continue to spread the message of joy and love.
That
With Billy's
two-time basted Billy. The two-time
that
basted.
that 2 time and last.
he's not even the most two-timing, but he is a little motherfucking cheater. All right.
Mm.
With Billy's brother, I think he's supposed to be his cousin.
He should have been the one to go. He should have been the one singing "Strawberry Fields" to Strawberry. He shouldn't. Oh,
We'll get to
oh,
we'll get to it. We'll get to
the-
it. We'll get to it. I'm just saying this. I think this is incorrect. This little write up here. I think it's his cousin with Billy's cousin Dougie
Mhm.
Shears as their manager. Which Dougie Shears, he's the one where I don't know him, but like he has like a fucking kick ass voice, and I feel like he
Mhm.
needs a band.
Yeah.
Um, you know who I'm talking about? Dougie
um,
Shears.
that's Paul
He's
Nicholas.
Paul Nicholas, yeah. Which he had a kick-ass voice, and I'm like, damn, this guy must be like in like the leader of a band, and like he's not.
Oh, he
No.
But
plays the lead role in Jesus Christ Superstar. Okay, that that's good to
Okay,
oh,
that
know.
well
makes
there you
sense.
go. That makes sense. He's
Yeah.
got an amazing voice.
Yeah.
Okay, so
It's
Dougie
also got Ian
Shears,
Gillian in
Paul
too.
Nicholas, as
Paul
their manager,
Nicholas.
Billy and his three best friends, brothers Mark, Dave, and Bob Henderson, played by the Bee Gees, embark on their lives as a new Lonely Hearts Club band. The band quickly comes to the attention of Hollywood music producer Beatty Hoffler, with the boys off to Hollywood to spread the words of joy and love to the world. Enter into wait, what? I'm sorry. It's not Wikipedia bad, but it's not the best written. I'm gonna say that. But it's not Wikipedia bad. We're not rambling on
Enter.
with like enter into Heartland the evil and demented Mr. Mustard. And that is played by Frankie Howard, a British comedian.
Oh yeah.
Which I gotta
Got the most
say,
British
But
eyebrows.
the song that they give him, his performance of that's pretty great. I
oh,
Oh
he
actually
was
yeah.
loved
great.
it.
And this was his one and only American film.
Oh yeah.
But he was a British comedian star, especially like in the 60s.
A
Mm.
nasty,
Say
mean
a
old
realist
man.
yeah. A dirty old man. He's an ex-real estate agent who wants to take over Heartland by destroying what made it famous. To do so, he plans to steal the instruments in City Hall and promote the music of FVB, the Future Villain Band, which like it's like a big reveal in the end, so should I say it now who
I
FVB is
I mean, if
or
you
should
want
I
to,
wait?
I want to save it. I just want to say what FEB is doing. Technically, yes, they're theft, they're stealing, but they're just trying to be competition to the Lonely Heart Complands. That's not illegal. That's fucked up that they're trying to crush them. They're just
Come
trying to be
on, Splinter.
competition. They're just they they ain't done
Well, we'll
nothing
save
wrong to
that
the
big
band.
we'll save that big reveal of who FVB is, since that's kind of like the pre-finale of this movie is like
Who
the
gets
reveal.
launched off a fucking cliff? Fucking 20, 30 fucking feet.
I do have to say, like, the finale of this movie is pretty incredible. It
Yeah.
doesn't fucking make sense. It like goes from this, like, it goes from the reveal of this band to like it's like a fucking funeral to like a Jesus windmill guy. Like, it's amazing.
The music
Okay.
biz was crazy back then.
Well,
What do
in
you
the
what do you call those things that are on the top of houses? They're not windmills. I know that.
their weather vanes, and
Uh,
Weather vanes? Weather vanes. Okay.
yes, and they say in the movie, they tell us in the movie that it's going to end when the weather. Jumping ahead a little bit, but they tell us in the beginning of the movie that it's gonna end when that thing comes to life. Like they say it directly in the movie. They're like, "Hey,
oh.
It's
when the
such a
weather
throw it's
vane
such a throwaway line.
starts to sing, hey,"
It's
but
such a it is such a they do say it. It's such a throwaway line, but what I will say is like there's like two or three times where they just like like close up the camera just like closes in on this weather vane spinning and you're just like, why is it doing that?
well,
Like
it's pointing in it's pointing in the direction of where you need to go to find the heartland, to find the love.
you know what I had in my so Starfish just snuck up here and told me that it was called a weather vane. In my head, it was called a weathercock because they're usually chickens.
Oh, that thing with the little fucking northwest south
Right?
shit.
I think that I wonder if that's like an actual word is weathercock. But I was like, wait, that's
Weathercock.
not right.
No, weathercock. Like they just say it like in some part
Oh,
of Texas or
Google's
something.
coming up with weathercock. Yes.
Oh
Oh,
shit,
Google
okay.
weathercock.
weather vane and weathercock. So a weather vane or a weathercock is a weather vane in the form of a rooster, which is very
Okay,
common.
specific.
So
Specific.
it wasn't just me putting like cock in the word in my mind. So
You were trying to be
that's all
filthy,
I could think.
dirty.
I was like weathercock.
Oh man.
Weathercock.
We mentioned
Oh
FD.
shit, you're breaking up.
Oh no.
I was like, that can't be it though. Okay. Alright. Am I sus? Uh-oh. Can you hear me?
It kind of
Can y'all
fast
hear me?
forward you. It's kind of like a blah, 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 blah.
Yeah, that was.
The FDB that
Oh,
it
your
want me to
quality got horrible all of a
reveal.
sudden.
Whoa! What the fuck?
The
God damn
FE
it!
just it. I think that's no, that's the
Okay, now
internet's
you're
fault.
good.
It's not mine.
You sounding better
It
now.
was I didn't do anything different. I didn't move. I feel like it was I think it was
Yeah.
the internet.
It's
Yeah,
definitely probably
it's
the
fine.
internet.
I think it was worried that I was gonna reveal who FVB was too early,
Mm. Or
and it wanted
show a
to
weathercock.
censor me. Maybe it didn't like the word weathercock.
Yeah, maybe.
All right. With Billy's hometown girlfriend, Strawberry Fields, at their sides, the boys try to thwart Mustard's dastardly plan at their own peril,
Wait,
while still
her
trying to
last
spread
name's
their own message
Fields.
of.
They made
Yeah,
Strawberry's
she's
last.
Strawberry Fields.
Why in the fuck isn't
Yeah.
Billy singing Strawberry Fields to her? In the why is it? Oh, that makes no sense to
Okay,
the plot.
you know what? It's fine. I agree with you, but she sang that song so well, and Peter Frampton couldn't sing it as well as she.
I get you. I get you. I was able to get. I was able to pick
She
that up.
killed it. She killed it in that song. And Peter Frampton wasn't sounded his Peter Frampton is a guitarist. I think of Peter Frampton, I don't think Peter Frampton's vocals. I think of guitar. You know what I mean?
Y-
Spooge, you know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah.
Spooge, I think you're muted, Spooge.
Oh yeah, I was.
Maybe you're. I'm. It's hard to say because
He's muted.
your audio's getting all robot-y, so I'm.
Oh, we're in the same house, the same Wi-Fi. So,
But I
That
have
makes
better
sense.
service because I have AT&T.
I'm just connected directly to the Wi-Fi on the computer. Does that
Oh
make
yeah,
sense?
it doesn't make sense. Though my internet just sucks because I'm off the Wi-Fi.
Okay. It's just, just the way it is. Okay.
It's sorry. It just sounds like you're drunk because all I can hear is okay, okay. Maybe can you move closer to the just move to the
I
table? I always find that that's a better sweet spot for the internet because I know the internet's like right below us and it's weird about those
I'll
spots where it is.
fucking
You're all
I gotta
comfy.
move. Yeah, I was all comfy. I'll
Well, I don't
fucking
know.
try.
And it just got real bad all of a sudden.
I don't know why
Let
either.
me, okay. I don't know why. I mean, I basically told you the plot. Y'all can fucking talk while I try to move this stupid
Okay.
table.
We I guess we got the
So I
plot.
don't,
Well, but then
so
those
I
guys will
don't
steal the
sound
money
like a
back,
fucking
the money bag.
drunk, drunk basic bitch.
All right, so we actually get cut off when on the plot.
Well, maybe
I
you can
don't.
we
continue. What where were we,
we
Smokey?
basically
How about
get to
you?
the part
Where did
where
I get cut off at?
we're basically at the part where Mr. Mustard has started stealing the instruments.
Then how did you hear me say Strawberry Fields then? Because
You
that came
started talking
after.
after that. You got to a segment after that, and you brought up Strawberry, and I was like, and
And that
you
her last
mentioned
name
her
was
last
Strawberry
name.
Fields.
Yeah.
And then he brought up the song later. So yeah, because we didn't even get to the Dougie I think it was Dougie stealing the money.
We didn't get to any
Well,
of
I
that.
didn't say that. That's because it's not in this fucking write-up that I'm fucking.
Remember when he stole the money from? I guess they were because I remember for some reason their economy was based on Sergeant Pepper's Lonely Hearts Club Bands and them
Yeah,
leaving
that's what I noticed.
destroyed
Like,
the
it
town.
says this storyline that I'm reading. It doesn't say any of this, so you didn't say that
They
because
yeah
I didn't say
you
it.
we got to bring up the fact that we got the Dr. Maxwell Edison. We got the cult leader father
It
son.
doesn't mention. It doesn't mention a single one of those goddamn
Steve Tyler
characters.
being
That
thrown off
I'm
of a fucking stage and dying.
Don't say his name. Don't, don't say his name. We haven't revealed him yet.
Well, you said that we already covered the plot. We didn't cover that point.
No, I thought we were gonna do a big reveal of who the fucking villain band was at the end.
Oh. Could have been with
We're
some
at
other
the
guys.
in the plot. We're at Colonel Mist. I want to say Colonel Mustard. We're at Mr. Mustard stealing the instruments, and the economy
Right, he
going
stole the
to.
instruments.
And for some reason,
The
that
economy went to
caused.
shit. Everyone is a criminal. Yeah, all the
And
Mhm.
criminals moved
Strawberry
in.
leaves.
And
She
now it's a
fucking
shithole.
leaves, and she goes and she sees Billy two-timing her on a fucking billboard. They
Well, that's what I wanted to say because okay, in this fucking the storyline that I'm reading here, it says with Billy's hometown girlfriend, Strawberry Fields at their side, the boys try to thwart Mustard's dastardly plan at their own peril while still trying to spread the message of love and joy to the world. That's where it stops. When
Weird.
in this movie, as soon as the boys get with the record deal, they're not trying to spread their message. They are just doing fucking drugs. They're
they get
fucking, they're
brain.
singing. They
They
get
sell their
instantly,
souls. They sell their souls.
instantly. It takes 2 fucking seconds for them all to just do a bunch of drugs, to be debaucherous,
Hey,
to
hey,
cheat. They're not
Tech.
trying to spread. They were ready to get into
That
this.
was that
I gotta
not the
bring up.
way that hippies
Hold
spread
up.
love back in the
I
free love movement?
even though Billy's a two-time and basted, he was roofied into to signing his soul away, and they
Oh yeah, he did
intoxicate.
get roofied.
They did all
Made
get roofied their very first meeting.
no, not everyone, not everyone. The lead singers of the Bee Gees, they signed away.
I thought the Bee Gees.
He signed away right away. The drummer had to get drunk. They made him get drunk, and he fell asleep, and he signed it for him. So that's forgery. The drummer never even fucking signed, and then Billy got roofied.
Yeah, I remember one
I
of
thought for some
them.
reason I thought they all got roofied, but
No,
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 one of
no.
them was like actually trying to look at the contract more, but then like after he was made to sign it, like he quickly grabbed it away so he couldn't read it.
But yeah, the one I don't know his name.
I think
He's
Dougie.
the one with the biggest hair. He was all for it in the Bee Gees. He was the first one to sign.
well the one that was all for it was Dougie, like their manager, right?
Oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah, true.
So he
Yeah,
wasn't in the Bee Gees.
there
He
was
was the one that was like super ready.
there was another one. There
Mhm.
was a member of the Bee. I can't remember his name, but he's the one with the biggest hair. He's got the feathered mullet.
So Barry Gibbs.
Yeah,
the
yeah.
Bear
main
Gibb
Bee.
with the goatee too.
Yeah. That's him. He's
Yeah,
the one that just like
that's
quickly
Barry
signed
Gibb.
away his. He signed.
Oh yeah.
He signed real fast. He was like, "Oh, get this over
Yeah.
with."
Hell yeah. That one?
Yeah. That's the
According
Barry.
to this thing, his name is Mark. Their names don't fucking matter in this movie.
No.
Who's gonna
They
remember
never come
Mark,
up. Billy,
Dave, and Bob?
Billy
We
and
say
Dougie's
Billy
name
all
is
the
the
time,
only
but we
ones
don't
that gets
say.
mentioned. And Strawberry.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, we just them as the Bee Gees, really.
It's the Bee
So the
Gees.
Bee Gees, we got in this movie we got Barry Gibb, Robin Gibb, and then Maurice Gibb with the hairline.
Oh yeah. Hairline Gibb.
Hairline Gibb.
He was so sad during this whole movie. He's so sad. They don't treat him right at all.
Not through the whole movie. That's not true. When they mention marshmallow pies, his face lights up. Face lights up when marshmallow pies in Lucy the Sky with diamonds.
That
Dude,
at least
that was just
he's
one
at
moment
least
of
he can be
happiness.
happy for a moment.
So that's the summary of the storyline that I have read. What do you want to say? Because that wasn't very detailed.
Yeah, well, since we're basically at the part where Strawberry leaves Heartland and she goes to Hollywood, and then we get the sequence where she sees Billy cheating on her, and then I don't know how they end up together. I forgot how they end up together, but they end up together, back together, and then
I think she
they
teleported there through music.
kind of. They
Now, okay. Okay, when you say when she sees them cheating, do you mean the Lucy in the Sky sequence?
Yeah, Lucy in the Sky with Diamonds sequence, yes.
Sequence was her hallucinating because she sees two billboards side by side. She sees the Sgt. Pepper billboard along with the Lucy the Diamonds billboard. That's all she sees. So it's two billboards side by side, and she hallucinates that whole.
She was
sequence.
definitely imagining them cheating, but then she was also right.
Doesn't actually see it.
We actively
She was right. She was
see
right.
we actively
But
see Lucy. We actively
correct.
see Lucy and Billy hug up on each other.
Yeah, she was correct, but I'm just saying that Lucy in the Sky sequence didn't actually happen.
No, I'm not saying that she actively, like, it was a fucking, she caught me on the counter situation.
It wasn't
Did,
me. That
it
It
wasn't
wasn't
me.
wasn't
me.
me.
No, no, I'm not saying that, but I definitely Billy was cheating on her with Lucy. That is without a doubt.
Agreed. Agreed.
Let me smell your dick. See if you been
Smell
cheating.
your dick.
But yeah, after Strawberry links back up with the band, they go back to Heartland, and when they arrive at Heartland, they find Mr. Mustard's RV, and when they find his RV, he's nowhere to be fucking found, and the Gimp bots are like, "Oh, yeah, he's he's what you do, he's where you go," and the Gimp bots are helping him. Then they go to Dr. Maxwell, played by Steve Martin, who is
Fuck
a
yeah.
very evil doctor who is not helping anyone at all. He's basically doing plastic surgery and brainwashing people at the same time into doing his bidding. And then you
So
have
this wait, before we move on from Steve Martin, I just want to say this Steve Martin performance is what inspired his performance in Little Shop of Horrors, this character.
fuck yeah.
Yeah. Just had to say that.
I mean, this is what's on. I gotta say, even though it's campy, this was Steve Martin on his A game in this. Like I
I love
didn't.
Steve Martin. This is like prime like Saturday Night Live Steve Martin.
Yeah, I definitely didn't see him hitting that song so well either. Like they performed it pretty well.
Oh yeah, I mean even in Saturday Night Live he did like musical bits as well. So like he was always primed to do like musical bits. Like he was all in. He was all in for that shit. He also so fucking King Tut from Saturday Night Live.
Oh yeah, King Tut. It's classic.
was, yeah, he was always ready for musical bits.
And then later in the modern age, he actually stopped doing comedy and went full on into playing the banjo and music.
Yeah, he had like a bluegrass band, right?
Yeah, he did. I think that's what he's still doing now.
And he's also doing he's doing TV. He's doing Only Murders
Oh
in the
yeah, he
Building.
was back on
Great
TV
show.
and stuff. Yeah,
It's a great
I
show,
forgot.
yeah. It's a fucking Steve Martin and Martin Short. They're great
Oh
together.
nice.
But he has the cornet, which you could not play because it is in the shape of a heart. That it's, it's not gonna work.
He probably never tried.
But yeah, the tuba is with the mind controlling leader, father son, played by a fucking Alice Cooper. I want to say
Alice
Allison,
Cooper, hell yeah.
which
Not
he,
Allison Cooper.
yeah, it's Alice Cooper. But fuck yeah, oh, it's so great.
And he's doing the Beatles song Because, which is awesome.
Which he's
Because the world is round,
oh
it
the
Which
super
turns
I
me
psychedelic.
did see.
on.
So just like a slight like little trivia, like he was first trying, to do this song. He tried to impersonate John Lennon's vocals for Because, but like as they kept doing further takes, they just said, "Don't do it like Lennon, just do it like Alice Cooper."
Yes,
And he
I'm
did,
glad
and
they
it was
did
awesome.
because
But
that
I am glad they did. I love the finished result, but I kind of want to see the fucking him trying to impersonate John Lennon. I want to
True.
see that footage.
yeah they should. I know that it's probably not possible, but if they made it in this era, they would have fucking released it as like a promo
I
on
want some
YouTube or something.
outtakes. Yeah, I want some
Yeah.
fucking outtakes. And
Special
so
features.
also just a little fact about Alice Cooper. He had just checked himself into rehab and they let him out for 3 days to do the shoots for this for this movie.
Fuck yeah.
So he got a 3-day release from rehab just to do this father son.
Yeah, he was kind of got clean, kind of had his like low moment really early, like earlier than a lot of other
Yeah.
people, and like got clean, consistent too. Like he hasn't had issues since then.
Oh, nice. That's nice.
Yeah.
But yeah, he has
But
the
go on. Yeah.
tuba, and this is there when Billy gets injured. This is the part that doesn't fucking make sense to the plot whatsoever, because Billy gets electrocuted and he gets injured, and then they take him to the fucking RV, and while he's all sitting there, the two-timing bastard is just sitting there. Oh, I'm hurt. I'm so hurt. Strawberry sitting there crying her fucking eyes out. I don't know how they got the actress. They might have did the teardrops, because she is fucking bawling in this
He was
scene.
great.
She's fucking crying her eyes out
Voice
while
on point.
singing
She was a much better actor
while fucking
than
Could
all of
be.
them.
singing Strawberry Fields Forever to Billy, going, oh, basically saying to Billy that she's gonna love him forever, and it makes no fucking sense. It should have been Billy singing to her, trying to get forgiveness for fucking two-timing. That two-timing bastard.
It's the 70s.
How about this though? How about like she starts the song crying and then he wakes up and finishes the song?
Yeah.
That might have worked, but that didn't happen. That doesn't happen.
No, it didn't. It didn't. It didn't. It didn't happen, but I don't want to like, take away from like hearing her sing the song because she does it so
Yeah.
well. So like,
Yeah, she
he
does.
could start it, he wakes up, and then he finishes it halfway through. That'd be cool. And her filmography, she's only been in 3 different movies. She's been in this movie, Toxic, Toxic Avenger, and Electric Blue. I don't know what Electric Blue is. She's only been in 3 movies.
Oh, she was in
Damn.
Toxic Avenger?
Wikipedia says filmography toxic, and then in parentheses it says the Toxic Avenger.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Toxic.
yeah.
Yeah.
So
Oh,
yes.
that'd be.
Is toxic the same thing as Toxic Avenger?
Yeah, it
Yeah.
is one
Okay.
of the titles.
Then yes, she was in
Nice.
Some obscure ass movies.
Oh yeah, but
that. And it seems like she's singing in all of these movies.
Hmm.
I
Oh.
believe she sung in Toxic Avenger, if I remember her character correctly.
It says she performs body talk.
But yeah, that fucking happens. That fucking happens, and then once Billy wakes up, they're like, "Oh, we can't find the instruments because the Gimp bots finally have decided that because they're the band, the Lonely Heart Club's band, is mistreating the Gimp bots, kicking them and shit, setting them on fire. The Gimp bots decide, we're just gonna fucking sit here from now on. Go fuck yourselves." Which is good for them. They finally take control of their lives. But yeah, so they're like, fuck, where's the other instruments? And then they find that Mr. Mustard still had the drum. And then they got the last band, the last instrument, the saxophone, which is held by FVB themselves.
FVB,
Which is
the future villain band.
played
So we
by...
reveal
Yes, this is the reveal that they are
fucking
played...
it's fucking Aerosmith.
Fucking Aerosmith. Steven Tyler comes out, and I'm like, damn, I'm tripping hard.
They come out in like it's like a Boy Scout fucking uniform.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're brainwashing everybody to be fit. It's a weird anti-scout message going on with the
Yeah, it
Stephen
doesn't really make sense because
With the Dr. Maxwell shit,
Doc,
cuz he makes them
yeah,
Mhm.
scouts.
Dr. Maxwell is making all the ugly people into like hot Boy Scouts, like both women and men, but like they have like
Mhm.
all Boy Scout
And then they
fucking
get
uniforms.
brainwashed by father son.
I'm
Mhm.
like, do we think in this time is this movie saying like Boy Scouts are like not good?
They never
Well,
been
I could
good.
totally see they've never been good. I mean, honestly, it was a place that if you kind of had like a troubled kid, you would send them to it because it's a Christian organization. They're
Is it like a
anti-gay.
proto army?
Yeah, they're connected with the army. Like the final thing of like getting Eagle Scout is actually like you get like a military honor.
That's what, because I truly don't know, because my only experience, like in my life, was Girl Scouts, and it was always very positive.
Yeah, they're different.
They're
Because
Okay,
very
they're
much
different.
Boy
different.
Scouts is like a
I
Christian
thought they were like a
organization.
one. I thought they were like a one-to-one, and like Girl Scouts is like very feminist in this day and age. And they
Yeah, and
kind
they
of
let
always
boys
were.
in
Like,
too.
yeah. So I thought it was like the same thing. So that's my
No.
No, they're
mistake.
two different
Okay.
organizations.
What? Yeah,
Well, I
Boy
knew they
Scouts
were
is very
different
conservative.
organizations, but I. Okay, okay, I got it. Okay, so we
Yeah.
can demonize Boy Scouts. That's fine then.
They also fired like some of like the gay like openly gay scout leaders, which had like no type of like allegations towards them, but then like shuffle around people with
But then we got
allegations
a
too.
bunch of like
Yeah.
priest like,
Yeah. South Park
scout
actually
leaders.
does a full episode on, on how like the quote unquote straight
Okay.
scout leaders are the are the ones you gotta worry
Okay.
about.
I had no context for this. I was just like I was thinking like Girl Scouts. I'm like Girl Scouts are great. So thank you for informing.
I was in Boy Scouts. I was in the Cub Scout part, like the elementary part.
Yeah.
We blow.
I was never a scout, thankfully.
It
Here
was
I
really
was the
boring.
whole time kind of thinking that Boy Scouts was like a positive organization.
I
Just
mean, baking the
just because of
Pinewood
Girl
Derbies
Scouts.
was fun because Dad did most of the work.
I say when your dad does most of it for you.
Yeah,
Isn't there
Boy
a whole
Scouts is for
movie about that?
dads.
About
Yeah,
dads doing that? Yeah.
down in Derby. Holy shit, we might have to review that because that's not really well known or reviewed because it's literally a Boy Scouts official movie.
I feel like we watched that like a few times.
Yeah, it's because we got it for free because we were in the Scouts. We all watched it
I feel
together
like
too.
we was roasting on it too.
Oh yeah, it's awful. It's like a discount Adam Sandler movie. It's really bad.
All right, well we might have to watch it. It's good to know because like in my mind like they were like the same kind type of thing and like I'll always support the Girl Scouts with my money in this day and age.
It
So,
was always kind of the culture of like each troop too. You know.
yeah.
But yeah,
But anyway,
yeah, I jumped a little ahead a little bit before they take on FVB. They do have the benefit where Earth, Wind, and Fire comes up.
Which is your main problem
Yeah,
with this whole
I
movie.
yeah.
it's a shame that that's your main problem.
Well,
It's completely a personal problem for you though.
it's a very it has to do with my I I hate that I have to do this, but I gotta say my mental disorder does not help because though they're performing yet to get you into my life, I I'm not hearing it's I only hear September when they are on the
Do you
screen,
remember?
and it's
They are not they are not performing September.
no, and because of that, because I'm here and I see their mouths not match up with the lyrics that I hear, it's like, no, this isn't right. Something's wrong in my. It's purely because anytime I see that band, I cannot hear any other song. Unfortunately, it's just something
That
about
is
that
that is
song
unfortunate.
because it's like, oh, I just can't. I can't. And when I'm on my mind expansion, it it's amplified to the nth degree, and it's like, get this fucking song out of my fucking head. Get it out.
That is very unfortunate because like this is a banger of a cover to me.
It should have been Boney M. It should have been Boney M.
Disagree. Disagree.
But
I think she'd agree more if
I
it was Parliament or Funkadelic than Boney M.
absolutely. If it was like a P Funk shit, like holy shit, this movie would be elevated
Oh yeah,
to
that would have
another
actually
level.
been better. Yeah.
Oh yeah,
I
that would
I
have been.
couldn't say because
Let's just say
I
that,
know
like
more
you
Boney
can't
M than I know P Funk. So
well, we can
That's a
change
problem.
that outside of this review.
That's a personal
Fine.
problem.
but yeah,
I mean, I like Daddy
once
Cool, but
hey, Rasputin, fucking Ma Barker, come on now. They're fucking good songs.
Yeah, but we're just not gonna agree. We're just not gonna agree.
yeah,
We're
But
yeah.
not
yeah,
gonna agree about all this.
they do the benefit, and this is when Dougie and Lucy, the two-timing motherfucking Lucy, two times Billy, even though she's been two-timing Billy the whole time with the manager that they signed with, played by
BD, yeah.
played by Donald uh Ple- Pleasance Ples Pleasence Pleasance
Yeah,
Pleasance.
I don't know.
Pleasance.
Pleasance? I don't
So
know.
it's
He's an English actor. British.
but yeah,
Oh, so pleasant.
if you don't know who the fuck he is, he plays Samuel Loomis in the Halloween movies, which I
Oh yeah.
Oh,
blew my fucking
okay.
mind when I saw him. I was like, oh shit. Because I only knew him from the Halloween movies.
Him being like, that boy is not a boy, he's a fucking monster. You have to fucking murder him. He cannot be helped. He must be stopped.
I guess it says here in 1954 he starred in a BBC adaptation of George Orwell's 1984.
Oh,
Hmm.
well,
So
shit.
he's like one of the you know how like British and like BBC they all got like their actors in every generation that's just like the kind of like the
I
same
think
actors over and over.
Halloween was this very year that this came out.
Oh, 78?
78?
Was it 78?
Wait, I think it was before though, wasn't it? One sec. I feel like it was before because it was one sec.
It's got to be around the same time.
Yeah, it is the same year, 1978. Wow, he was on
Oh
fire.
shit.
He was
Oh
busy.
shit.
Oh shit. That means is that one second? Because then what happened? I thought Halloween was after Texas Chainsaw because Texas Chainsaw is 74. Huh. People always saying that fucking Michael is the first one. Motherfucking
No,
liar.
it's not. Them motherfuckers are lying. Them
Yeah.
bitches are lying.
Fucking
Tell
Leonard
them
Bates.
that they're fucking liars next time you hear
I
anybody
guess
say that.
technically Norman Bates, but no one really sees him as like no one's getting the Norman Bates mess.
True. I mean, at least he got his own show. Bates Motel got its own show in the
Yeah.
2000s.
More
I
like
watched
Master
it.
Bates Motel. Got him.
But yeah, fucking that happens. Dougie and Lucy takes off with the money. Um, that they
Which I
go
feel like
fight.
that's never like addressed.
It's not. It's not. They kind of just like disappear from the movie
Well, good for them.
afterwards. Yeah,
Good
which
for
Good on
them. I
them.
hope they go. Yeah, good on them. They took that money. They got out of there.
And that's
Who was that
when
money for? Was that for the
the
retirement
money
of
for the
that Mr.
benefit.
Kite?
Was it the benefit
Oh
movie?
yeah.
The
Yeah,
benefit concert?
that was the money that
So
they were
he
gonna
just gets
donate.
fucked over and it's not touched up on.
No.
Well, they were
he just,
supposed
he
to
just
donate
retires
As
poor.
far as we know,
that
as far as we know, they got away with that money and lived
they were
happily
doing
ever
a
after.
live aid esque type deal. They were supposed to donate that money, so they're being assholes right now.
Yeah.
Bigger things happened, I guess.
Yeah,
Because
fucking
at this benefit concert, Strawberry gets kidnapped
Oh yeah.
by
yes,
Mr. Mustard, right? Oh,
by
Mr. Mustard and his goon, the giant.
Oh fuck from Twin Peaks, yeah. And
Yeah,
also
the
Lurch
yeah.
uh,
So his name is Carol
in the
Stroiken.
new Adams film. Yeah.
yes, Stroiken.
Yeah. Well, not new. The '90s
No, yeah, I
one.
forgot there's a yeah, whatever. That used to be new. That used to be the new one.
The nine the nine the '90s ain't new no more, Spooch.
It was new to me.
It's Carol Stroiken. He's a Dutch actor, and he's known for Twin Peaks, Star Trek, that '90s Addams Family, and he's also in two Stephen King movies, Gerald's Game and Doctor Sleep, which I've not seen.
You haven't seen Doctor Sleep?
I haven't. I've read it.
Oh, it's
I've
the
read both of
sequel
them.
to the Shining. Ewan McGregor is
Oh,
in
you don't gotta tell me what it is. I just
I'm
need to know.
not.
You gotta tell me what it is.
Hey, we're doing a
You
review
gotta tell
for
me.
the listeners. For the listeners who are like, I wonder what Doctor Sleep is.
But yeah, he's a great character actor. And I think Smokey, you said that you found out that this was his first movie, his
Yeah,
debut.
this was his debut. This was his very first movie.
That's great. Because you know in the future we're gonna be talking about Twin Peaks.
Yes, it's coming. I know it's coming. I trust me.
And
I
he was 30 in this movie.
It's happening again.
So he must have been pretty old in Twin Peaks.
Oh yeah, I mean that's
He was 30. Oh, I guess he would have been in his 50s in the original
yeah.
series.
He seemed old,
And
like you know.
also, yeah, in the Addams Family, he would also be in his 50s.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was fun to see.
but yeah,
I think
that
he's still alive.
Oh good.
while let me
Yeah, he's
finish the
75.
plot.
Yeah, sorry. Yeah, I got sucked in the rabbit
they
hole.
do kidnap Lucy. Not Lucy. They kidnap
Strawberry.
Strawberry. Yes, they kidnap Strawberry, and they, for some reason, even though Mr. Mustard has been fawning over Strawberry since he has been on the screen, he gives her to FVB, and then this is where we get the part where Billy and FB and the Bee Gees have to fight Steven Tyler, even though Steven
Yes,
Tyler's
and
literally just being androgynous with his fucking his guitar.
They're all twigs.
they're all tiny. So
Hold up now. They are let me paint the Steven Tyler
Well, they're
and the
long.
guitarist are literally getting so fucking up into each other that they can see out each other's assholes, okay?
yeah, Joe Perry and Steven Tyler. I want to
Mm.
say they're also, I just said it, like they're doing a awesome cover of Come Together.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
They are. They are. Very. Which I have actually heard this cover before I've seen this. Like this.
I think
This cover.
it's
Yeah,
out.
this
It's
is a
out.
very successful cover, and it was like it's been on the radio. Like you still hear it on the radio on
I think
like
they
the
have it on
classic
one of their
rock.
albums too.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I've heard this version more than I've heard the original.
Yeah.
Like,
For sure on the radio.
When I
Yeah.
heard this, I thought it was an original song. I was like, why the fuck does Aerosmith
Please
get to
don't
play.
insult me like this.
But I did. Hey, this is just
Don't
my.
blaspheme on this podcast
I
or
He's
this
I
radio.
learning.
I learned.
He's
I
just
learned.
learning. He
I
learning.
Okay,
literally
okay, I'm sorry.
looked
I'm
it up.
sorry. I'm being an elitist. I'm being a filthy elitist. I'm sorry.
I didn't know where it came from because again, I heard the Aerosmith version way more than I heard the Beatles version. So I was just like, oh
Mm.
well,
No, I totally get that. I've
that's cool.
definitely heard the Aerosmith version on like classic rock stations more than I've heard
Yeah.
the Beatles version. So it says three songs from the soundtrack actually charted on the Billboard like Hot 100 in 78. Earth, Wind, and Fire's Got to Get You Into My Life. Robin Gibbs, Oh Darlin', which I've never heard that, outside of this movie, and it's such a fucking good cover. I wish I had.
More of the
And then
time.
eh, yeah, yeah, this is just in 1978. And then Aerosmith's Come Together. So those three covers like took off, except for I don't agree with the Robin Gibb cover because I've never
Yeah.
heard it outside of this movie. But again, like I wish it was more available because it's a really good cover.
Mhm.
But
I
anyway, go on, Smokey.
yes. So yeah, yeah, that was a very shocker. That was a little learning experience for me. I because I again when they started performing it, I looked it up. I was like, why in the fuck does Aerosmith get to sing one of their songs and Alice Cooper? Because Alice Cooper could have done a good fucking one of his songs as Father Son. It would have fit perfectly. But then I
True, but I'm
that
glad he did because
if they did get to perform one of their own songs, that would have risked Earth, Wind, and Fire actually performing September. And that would have just completely ruined this.
it didn't happen. It didn't
Yeah,
happen, Smokey. They did
I
not
know.
sing September.
I know. It's aggravating. Trust me, I understand.
Do you remember?
I understand they sing more songs, but that's all I hear. But yes, during this scuffle with FVB, we unfortunately get Strawberry's untimely demise, and we get a
Yeah,
very
she
sad.
dies.
Yeah, she fucking. I'm excuse my
She
language
fucking
here.
falls.
That bitch fucking falls hard. Excuse my
Bam! Like,
language.
yeah, falls
Yeah, she.
hard.
I mean that is like damn. Fuck.
Didn't something crush her?
Yeah, like she's tied to like a neon dollar sign, and it falls. It just falls right on her. And it's not a dummy or anything. Like it's. I don't know if it's the actress or a stunt
You got a
double,
No,
double?
it's gotta be a stunt. It's gotta be a
but
stunt double.
Unless the lady did
they
her own
got
stunts.
hurt.
That's why she wasn't in any more movies.
The
Got the damage.
motherfuckers. Them poor
She
motherfuckers
was in
got
the Toxic
hurt.
Avenger. She was all fucked up.
She, they got. I mean, she fell on them stays hard.
And then like it just like goes to a funeral scene, and we're like, oh shit, she actually died.
I mean, with how hard she falls, I wouldn't be surprised. Like
Which
that's the
Steve Tyler also falls and is, I guess, is just dead.
Oh yeah, he fell from the
yeah.
highest height.
Stairs.
He didn't hit any stairs. He had nothing in between, like the 40 feet. he was just
We
he
never
was just
see a
gangled on the
funeral
ground.
for him.
No, he's a future villain. Villains don't get funerals.
he's fine. He's fine.
Villains
As
don't
far
get funeral. Boy Scout villains.
we don't see a body, the rule of thumb, he might not be dead. He's open for a sequel for him to return.
I want to see this sequel, please. I mean, he's still alive. We can. Steve Tyler can still make the
I
sequel.
fuck I have a pseudo sequel that I would personally love. Steven Tyler played the patient of the Black Parade and that's what's going on is the
Oh
Black
yeah.
Parade is the sequel. That'd be great.
I just want
And
to
and
I just want to
as
read this little like bit of trivia here because it's kind of ridiculous. It
Mhm.
says the script called for Peter Frampton, so Billy, his character to kill Steven Tyler's. When it came time to film the scene, Aerosmith threatened to walk out. They said, quote, "There's no fucking way that Steven is going to get directly off by Frampton," said Joe Perry. It said, "It's got to be an accident, the way it was in the original script we fucking agreed to." They finally agreed to
No one's
compromise,
killing my man.
with Sandy Farina accidentally pushing Steven Tyler's death. Said,
Weird.
Frampton cannot fucking kill him. That's weird.
They're coked up. They're fucking coked up. Like that would mean that Peter. That means
It,
like Peter
they
Frampton's the
actually,
better artist.
they were fucking coked up. There's like more trivia about how coked up they were.
Yeah, this is like the age when he was like. I think this was like right before he destroyed his voice when he was like drinking like whiskey with like cocaine in it and just like destroyed his
Oh
vocal
my
cords.
God. I bet that tasted like shit, dude.
Not when you're drunk or coked up enough. It's like ooh, spicy water.
I guess. But it said like also I can't find it now, but like in this trivia it says like the Bee Gees and like Peter Frampton like were very like kind of standoffish with each other because they didn't know how their music would mesh together. But it's like, bro,
Mhm.
like why don't you just see instead of being little like why y'all so uptight? But I think it was because of the cocaine is why everyone
Mhm.
was so uptight.
Yeah, everyone's uptight. They're all coming from different genres too, sort of like different parts of like
Yeah,
rock and like disco too and stuff. So it's definitely
true.
even though we kind of see it like oh it makes sense of like the time too. It's definitely a mix match of artists like back then.
Yeah, I I agree, but I mean, I think he was just Peter Frampton was probably just jealous of the Bee Gees vocals, you know?
Oh yeah, oh yeah,
who
Because
probably.
you know
who
who
knows?
who would
But we got a tiny. We're almost done. We're almost done with the plot. Tiny little
okay, go yeah,
tiny
yeah, yeah,
little
yeah, yeah.
more.
Sorry.
So we're at the funeral, and Billy is so sad. He's so sad that he decides that he can't do it no more. So he decides he's gonna unalive
Oh my
himself and jump off a roof.
It's not that's not
In
funny.
front of everyone, in
It's
front of
not
everyone,
funny,
just like
but
out in.
the way it happens, I was I every single time I've
It's
watched
not
this
Billy.
movie, I'm just
That's not
dying.
Billy jumping.
I'm just dying
It's
laughing.
not Billy jumping.
This is supposed to be like such a sad, serious scene, and I'm just dying. I'm just cracking up.
Like it is so obviously a stunt double in a very poorly made wig jumping off the ledge. And then there is a Deus ex machina, which it's not actually a Deus ex machina because they tell us in the fucking movie that this is how it's gonna end. The weather vane comes alive and stops him from dying and performs a song, which is "Get Back," and
Yeah.
He transforms Mustard and the whatchamacallit to his henchmen. Can't believe I blinked out on that word. But he turns them into a nun and a monk. And
Oh
apparently
no. Oh yeah.
this
And then
says
we do see. Go
Dougie
ahead. Sorry.
Lucy gets transformed into a priest and a nun. So they do get their
Yes.
comeuppance, even though I don't think they
That's what I
really
was about to
deserved it.
say. I do say I was about to say like I do remember them like finally just being there at the end and they get transformed into like a nun and a priest.
Maybe that means
That
that they
doesn't mean
gave
that
all
they
that
gave the
money to the
money.
church.
They to me that still means that they
Oh,
kept the money.
I mean, they're now they can steal from their congregations. So,
Oh yeah.
but yeah,
Now
and
they just gave him a front. They just gave him a front for all this money, really.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, they did. He helped them out. But yeah, and
That's what he does.
he brings Strawberry back to life, and he gives them the Sergeant Pepper uniforms that we all know and love. Oh, they're so shiny, so colorful. Oh, it's great. It's great, and
And
that's
the weather vane Jesus man is played by Billy Preston,
yes,
who
yes.
Hmm.
yes, who so I just kind of like put this together this time. And so Billy Preston, he was like one of the only artists who actually got a credit from the Beatles for playing on one of their songs.
Hmm.
Um, which more artists actually did, like Eric Clapton and stuff, like played on Beatles songs, just didn't get a credit at the time.
Hmm.
Um, but I think it was like a self. I could be slandering Billy Preston, and if I am, I'm sorry. But I think he nicknamed himself the Fifth Beatle. Um,
Oh.
yeah, and like I think he was friends with them, and he did play on one of their songs, but I think he named himself the Fifth Beatle, and I think this is one of the where some of the parodies of the Fifth Beatle come from, because I know that there's a Saturday Night Live parody where Eddie Murphy is like pretending to be the Fifth Beatle.
Yes.
Um,
And I feel like that's where that comes. And then in the Ruddles, there's
A
the black
fifth
guy
black member. Yeah.
who's the fifth Ruddle. I think that's where this parody might come from.
Also in Magical Mystery Tour, I mean the Wizards, they said five or so, and it
Oh,
was all the Beaters, Beatles, and
but
the T.J. Miller.
he was their friend though, and he did play
Yeah.
on at least one song.
Mm.
I was always under the impression the Fifth Beatle was an ongoing joke with the band because they called Ringo the Fifth Beatle sometimes, didn't they?
Well, technically he because there was a they did have a drummer before him that got
Yes,
replaced before they got like recording and stuff.
yeah, but he would have been
Oh,
this. That would
okay.
have been the sixth because there were two Beatles before George and Ringo,
Oh
like
yeah,
that just like started with them very early. Um,
never recorded though.
Such an emo band thing to do.
yeah.
Mm.
Yeah, but they didn't. Yeah, they didn't record. They didn't record
I think
together.
like the
But
producers introduced them all.
just like about the cocaine, like since we were talking about the cocaine, there's just like a little blurb here. It says Maurice Gibb was shocked to see crew members carrying around bags of cocaine. And Robin Gibb spent much of his period just unable to sleep without taking barbiturates, and they were all battling drug addictions at this time.
Oh yeah, I mean this is late into the '70s. This
Shocked
is
to
when it's
see
like
them.
stopped being fun.
This was a coke. Yeah, this is like a. I think this is like kind of like an angry, paranoid, coke-fueled
Yeah,
movie.
this is well like a couple years well into your coke addiction, and it's not fun and mystical anymore. It's
Yeah,
now it's getting
because
serious and
The Bee Gees were very well established time and like
Hmm,
had been going for a while.
yeah,
But
for
anyway,
sure.
go on, Smokey. I just had to. We had said something about cocaine, and I had to read that part.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, no, that's it. That's how the movie ends is with their shiny new uniforms, and I just want to state that during the funeral, I have a little personal edit that I put the Black Parade right there. It's not a Beatles song. It's not, but it's just so fitting. It's just
What are we talking about? The Black Parade.
the Black
It's a My
Parade.
Chemical
It
Romance
it's a
song.
My Chemical Romance album and song that is heavily inspired by both this album and Pink Floyd's The Wall.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Okay.
That
I'm
they
not very familiar with their music.
Yeah, My Chemical
Me
Romance.
neither.
They wear a. I've said this in chat, but they for the Black Parade album, they created an alternate ego band called the Black Parade that wears black versions of the uniforms that Pepper's Lonely Heart Band Clubs wears, and that's why I would say the sequel could be the Black Parade done as like a pseudo sequel with Steven Tyler's character in the hospital, and the reason why he's seeing the uniforms and stuff, it's that's that's who killed him. That's his death. That was his death.
I'm down for this. I'm down for this sequel. This sequel.
I mean, it would be in the vein. We would be mostly hearing My Chemical Romance songs from the Black Parade, but I we could totally splice in a few Beatles songs that would totally
I
fit.
mean, I'll give it a try. I mean, if it's faithful to this movie, then we got a bunch of like sweet cameos anyway.
Oh yeah, we could totally make it faithful. Can
And
make
then
it
we can
faithful.
bring Aerosmith back. I think Aerosmith is still like alive.
I'm not
I
sure
know
how
Joe Perry and Steven
people would
Tyler are.
feel. Not sure how people would
Steve
feel
Tyler
about
got half
covering My
canceled,
Chemical Romance, but I want it. That's what I want.
but yeah, people still see Aerosmith.
Aerosmith can still make a fucking last minute appearance at the
Yeah.
end.
Everyone found out what he did in the time of these movies.
And it would be a retcon, but then Steven Tyler can get his fucking due of the his character not dying from the thing because the patient actually dies from cancer in the Black Parade. So
Mhm.
there you go. There you go. Everybody can be
Dies from
happy.
falling cancer.
Well, you can say the can't. We can say that when he falls, he went to the hospital, and because he went
They
to the
found the
hospital, they found the
cancer.
cancer. Yeah.
Yes.
They found the
I'm cooking.
Yeah,
I'm
you're gonna be
cooking
fine
here.
about the fall, but we got it. There's a little lump.
We found
So
something.
so really he was saved. So in the end of like this sequel, is he like the Aerosmith are they like the good band since they were saved?
I
The
mean,
future hero band now.
Yeah, now they're the hero band.
I guess you can say that. It would be his character's redemption is all before he
He's a
dies
hero
because
for
he died.
being a
The
cancer
patient
fighter.
dies at the patient does die at the end of the album. That
Yeah.
is, it's unfortunately not a happy ending. But hey,
But yeah, then it just this movie, the Sergeant Pepper, it just ends and then we have the group of celebrities, reminiscent of the album cover for the Beatles,
which
Sergeant Pepper's
I
Lonely
only
Hearts Club Band album.
recognized one person, and she really elevated my mind
Is it
expansion
Tina
was
Turner?
Tina Turner. Yes, just
Yeah. Yeah, she's very noticeable. So there were a lot of celebrities in that group.
I
Just to
she
name a few.
she was on the I hate
We got
before we move on, she was on the cocaine
yeah.
for sure.
Oh, surely. I'm sure a lot of these people were.
Yeah, I mean
Um,
the staff is literally running around with bags of cocaine. You can get it anywhere. Just be like, hey, yell to the staff, and they get you some coke.
I mean the like ending cameos, like there's a lot. We actually didn't mention that the narrator to this movie was George Burns. Was a very famous
Oh, he
comedic.
plays Mr.
I
Kite
won't say
too.
actually. Yeah, he's Mr. Kite. He's the narrator, and he was very famous in vaudeville. He was born in 1896, so he was a part of the vaudeville scene and then like scene. and then was a comedic actor. He's a very famous personality.
which
Mhm.
And was in
I give
20,
respects.
1920s movies. Yeah.
Yeah, I give respects to him, but his song was a little weak, and his
He was
performance was not the. It wasn't the strongest of the
old.
bunch.
He was old in this movie.
Yeah. That was
I
when
I
we took
just
our kind of like some pee breaks.
I do gotta I gotta point it out because it's the one even though I don't like Earth Wind and Fire, I don't like Earth Wind and Fire because of their performance. I don't like Earth Wind and Fire because I of a very personal issue that it just cannot be handled. But this I don't like because it is the
Yeah,
weakest.
it's objectively weak. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
objectively the weakest
Yeah.
performance of
Well,
them.
he was already, I think he was in this movie, he was already 88 years old. Um, and he died in 96 when he was 100. So he was pretty old in this movie, you know. He was doing what he could do.
Yeah, I mean that's cool. That's great, but it's unfortunate. Unfortunately, I gotta put it out there because Frankie Howard he performed Mean Mr. Mustard fucking great.
For sure,
Mhm.
but was he 80? Was he 88 though?
He's pretty
But
old when he was
you
doing
know
this.
what?
He's pretty old.
He lived
This
to a
was
hundred.
actually
He
his
should have scraped off some energy. Like should have died at 95 instead and used that energy to better do a better performance.
He should have probably did
They
an
gave
extra
him
bump.
they gave him
They probably should
dude,
have gave him
okay,
an extra bump. It just liven
Mm.
it up a
they
little
gave
bit.
him the song. They gave him the song "Fixing a Hole." Fixing a hole is not blowing anybody's minds, even
Yeah,
just the Beatles version.
yeah, true.
Uh,
It's one of those that you kind of, you just let play, but you ain't going, you ain't repeating that song.
I'll agree with you on that one, but again, for the listeners, don't be surprised if you're like, yeah, I see what he means.
Yeah, I'm not really disagreeing with you for sure. But anyway, some of the celebrities in this ending sequence just I mean there's like a fuck ton. There's a bunch of them lined up there. But we got Carol Channing, who was like a comedic actress, a pretty big comedic actress. We got Donovan, which I still listen to Donovan. Fuck yeah. Um, you know Donovan, right? Season of the Witch, Sunshine Superman. Y'all know Donovan.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
For some reason I get him mixed up with another the boy band when I hear the name only. The what am
Which
I
boy
thinking of?
band?
The old one that with the I don't know they all look the same. They're all brothers at this time
Yeah.
around this time I
Which
think.
what in the 70s?
Yeah, they're like a kid, like the weird kid ones.
Oh
Huh.
yeah, there was
I
that. There was a
For some
time where
reason
there was like a shit ton
but
of
then
kid
until
boy
until I
bands.
hear someone say like the title of a Donovan song, then I instantly go out of that. I'm like, oh yeah, the psychedelic band. But for some reason
Well, I
it
don't know who you're talking about, but
I think our sister went and like saw him for some reason, like one of them.
are you talking that's in the
About what?
90s?
Maybe it's in the
Are you,
90s. I don't know. I don't know
are
when
you
they
talking
look
about
like they're
like
from the fucking.
are
They
you
look like
talking
they're from
about
the fucking
Umbop?
70s.
You talking about the Umbop kids?
Yeah, the Umbop kids.
That's
Yeah.
that's the fucking 90s. That ain't the 70s.
I don't know. They look like some like cult kids from the 70s. I don't know. Fucking
There's
little hair.
in his defense, there's a strong possibility he wasn't even alive during all this. Cut him some slack.
These kids was not even conceived yet.
What are they called then?
Hanson.
Hanson. I don't know why I get Donovan mixed with them. Maybe just because they're like both. They sound like names, like Donovan and Hanson.
Donovan and Hanson are not.
I don't know why. It's such a personal issue of why I get this mixed up.
I was like, I thought that's maybe what you're talking about, but you said it was around the 70s. I'm like, no,
Oh yeah, I guess they
that's
were later. Now that I think of
pre-90s.
it, I just was picturing the little fucking like penis heads.
Blonde penis heads.
Yeah. I was like, that could be 70s.
Well, Donovan is a very different thing. Donovan's a groovy 60s hippie artist.
Yeah.
Um, we've got Dame Edna Everage, who is like in drag, which is cool for the time. We've got Heart, hell yeah, Anna
Oh hell
Nancy
yeah.
Fuck yeah.
Wilson. We've got Jose Feliciano, which I've got some records. He's pretty fucking cool. He does like some badass guitar. We got Etta James, amazing.
Oh hell yeah.
Um, we got Curtis Mayfield. We got
Fuck yeah.
Wilson Pickett, Robert Palmer, Bonnie Raitt, Minnie Riperton, Johnny Rivers, Shauna Na, the band. We got Del Shannon, the band. We got Tina Turner. We got Frankie Valli, which we had a conversation about earlier.
Yeah, Joe Pesci's number one artist, and apparently he's friends
We
with
got
very, and
Hank
he was in a
Williams
movie about Frankie
Jr.
Valli too.
Yeah. We
Hank
got Hank
Williams Jr.
Williams Jr. We got Johnny Winter, which I definitely noticed. Y'all, I think Spooge also noticed Johnny Winter, the albino,
Oh,
like
I
from
guess I didn't see him at all. But if I would have saw
oh,
him, I probably would have
it's
noticed
because
him
he's
because he's
he's
unmistakable.
albino. He's too light.
Yeah, he's albino and has long white hair.
Just a fun fact. On hand on the set that day were George Harrison, Paul, and Linda McCartney, but they declined to be on camera. So we had George, Paul, and Linda, and they said, no, we're not.
No, we're just
Too
here. We're
much.
just here looking at what's happening.
Yeah. Famously, the Beatles were did not enjoy this movie. So
Damn.
I think Paul and George saw this movie and just said it wasn't good, and they weren't like blasting it, but like they said some pretty like passive aggressive shit like of like I'm sorry that the Bee Gees ruined their career.
Damn.
So
Bruh.
they didn't love this movie. But I mean, think of it though, like everyone thinks that this movie is involved with you and like you like they wanted to separate themselves from this movie
Yeah,
pretty much.
makes sense.
But this is a George Harrison quote. It said of Peter Frampton and the Bee Gees, he said, "I think it's damaged their images, their careers, and they didn't need to do that. It's just like the Beatles trying to do the Rolling Stones. The Rolling Stones can do it better."
Okay. Yeah. I see what the
So
hang
it's
up they
kind of
got.
a bird. Yeah, you just
I wonder what Ringo thought.
who knows? I mean, Ringo did
I
cave
thought that it was
reviews.
fun.
What can he say about what can
I
he
thought
say
that it was
about
kind
that
of
movie?
charming.
But I think George Harrison was like the one to comment publicly. And he just
He's
said
low
like
key kind of the moodiest one too, though.
like he's kind of like a little like passive aggressive like snarky kind of a
Mm.
sassy bitch. He's kind of
I
a sassy bitch.
Yeah.
I totally see that with his performance and spoilers for what we're gonna review, Magical Mystery Tour. How he
Mm.
performs
Yeah.
Blue Jay Way.
Hmm.
Some about it.
Well, he was the one that got really into like the gurus and stuff in India too, and like the like Hare
Yeah.
Krishna stuff.
The Bee Gees also cited this as their own they declined popularity. So they credited this movie with the downfall of popularity.
Which
Which
Well,
like I feel like I don't know, man. I don't know. I wasn't there. I can't say.
disco was just getting out though. It was just I think disco as a movement
That's
was just
but
kind
that's
of
the
going
thing
out.
too, isn't it? I mean, so Saturday Night Fever came out the year before this.
Hmm.
So it was like kind of in its heyday, but toward the end of the 70s, disco was already on its way out.
Yeah.
But the Bee Gees, it's funny because the Bee Gees were not always disco. The Bee Gees started before the Beatles. The Bee Gees started in 1958, and they were kind of like soul, like R&B, kind of rock, like light rock. And
They got a
then
little
when the
psychedelic too, right?
disco, they did, and then like when the disco craze came in, they like, they kind of ruled that shit.
Yeah.
Um, but they
Um,
weren't by any means always disco, but they got a lot of flack for turning disco as well. So like when disco was on its way out, the kings of disco were also kind of on their way out. So who
Mm.
knows?
Yeah.
maybe it's just during this time period when it came to covering bands that's become less popular. Like it's very
It
rare
could be.
that you
I
get
thought,
covers, and when you do get a cover, it's never like a huge hit anymore. Like we got 3 hits from this. Don't get me wrong, but I I don't think there's been another band that's covered a song after this that's like had mainstream success with that cover. Can anybody name a
I mean,
song?
I think if I had time to think of it, I definitely could.
What,
Think of
Bee Gees
like
Because when
songs?
it
successful
no, just
covers or
just
just like covers in general.
yeah, just when it comes to song covers in general, it's when it comes to music, I feel that there is a purist aspect to it where
Soft
it's like,
sell.
yeah,
Mm.
it's like, oh, you gotta.
I think there were a lot of successes with covers and like even covers like kind of launching bands' popularity. I
Oh
don't think
yeah.
that was it. I
Fuck,
I
fucking
personally think the
Hallelujah, like the Shrek version.
yeah, the Shrek version, yeah. True. I mean, but before the Shrek version there was Jeff Buckley, who did
Yeah.
Hallelujah, which was a Leonard Cohen song. And he
Yeah.
actually brought the popularity of that song back. Like he's the reason why everyone started covering that song is because of Jeff
Mm.
Buckley.
Yeah.
Because Jeff
I
Buckley
mean, there's a
covered
whole
it
like YouTube list
But
so
of
wasn't
like
well.
that
covers that are
song?
bigger than the original.
I wasn't Hallelujah meant to be sung by other people? Wasn't it written for to be covered?
I mean, I don't know. I mean, Leonard Cohen wrote it and originally performed it in the 60s, I think. Um, and it didn't have like the biggest success
Maybe
until
you're
the
thinking of like
90s when
Along
Jeff
the
Buckley
Watchtower.
took it.
Maybe I am. Maybe.
Yeah, that was Bob
Because
Dylan
there
wrote
are,
that. Yeah.
we
And
have to point out there are some songs that are literally written for multiple pans to just take and buy
right.
the rights
A
to
lot of
and,
them by
and
Bob
perform.
Dylan.
Yeah.
Yeah, a lot of them by Leonard Cohen and Bob
Yeah.
Dylan or.
Mm.
Um, but I thought the Bee Gees like covered the Beatles very well. And I will say I'm very picky on Beatles specific covers. I get real mad when they're not good.
Mhm.
Beatles are my favorite band of all time, and I'm very picky with Beatles covers. I thought the Beatles did, or the Bee Gees did great with like covering them, but I'm also just like a huge fan of the Bee Gees.
Mhm.
Um, I
Yeah.
thought all their voices like they lent themselves very well to their songs.
Mhm.
I mean, I strongly
Peter
agree
Frampton,
with you.
I do like Peter Frampton, but his voice is not the strongest. Like it's his guitar that is stronger than his voice. So like when
Mhm.
Peter Frampton is singing the Beatles, I'm not like, "Oh my God, this is amazing." I'm just like, "Okay, this is sufficient." But when the Bee Gees is are doing it, I'm like, "Fuck, yes." I
Yeah.
do like that I do like the Aerosmith cover too. I think it's really good.
Oh hell
It's just
yeah.
like a classic
I
good
mean,
cover
the
of a Beatles
the
song.
main population, everybody thinks it's fucking good. To be honest, I'm probably not the only
Yeah.
one that's like, "Come Together" is not an Aerosmith
Oh,
song.
oh
Yeah,
no, I'm
for
sure you're
sure.
not the only one.
I get that.
Especially with all these Zoomers that didn't even know what Freebird was.
That's fucking. It still blows my
Oh,
mind.
shit. Okay, so speaking of Freebird, since you mentioned Leonard Skinner, I just have a like a little kind of it's like a fun fact, but like a sad fact at the same time, but it's just bizarre. So during the filming of Strawberry's funeral, Peter Frampton forced himself to cry by thinking of the recent Leonard Skinner plane crash.
Oh my god.
That's
Damn.
bizarre, right?
Yeah.
Hey,
I
you
guess
you
it was
do what
just
you
that
got to
fresh.
do.
Guess
You
it was
do.
just that fresh. When did that happen?
In the coke frenzy, that definitely would work.
I
You're in an
mean,
emotional
it's.
state there.
Okay, when let's see, when did this plane crash happen? It must have been so fresh.
I mean, it
Oh
made the
yeah.
scene better. I will say I was gonna give him props because it was very obvious
I mean,
that he
yeah,
was
he was
crying.
really crying. So it just happened the year before, like late in the year in October
Damn.
77.
So
Damn.
it. So depending on when
That's
they
that's
filmed
wild
the
though.
scene, depending on when they filmed the scene, it could
I
have
think
literally just happened.
And I think they actually started filming in 77, or at least they were like getting the cast together in
Mhm.
77
That's
for this
usually what
film.
well, usually what happens is the cast is put together 2 years before the production, and production starts the year before, and then you get the time between release and filming that's like marketing
Yeah.
and editing and whatnot. That's usually what happens. So I wouldn't be surprised if he literally like it was a couple of months apart, and he just or he could have just got the news actually, depending on how close it was.
Oh yeah, definitely.
I don't know if the audio
Yeah.
is.
I just thought that was like a Oh no, no, no. I was just reading something and I like froze, so I'm good.
Okay.
But I wanted to just like some production stuff. So this was produced by Robert Stigwood. So he actually produced a lot of musicals. He thought this movie would be like a huge success. Obviously it was not. Um, but he produced the year before Saturday Night Fever, huge success. He co-produced Grease in the same year, which obviously massive success.
Hmm.
Um, then it was Grease and then this movie, so you know, didn't work out this movie. Um, and he also produced Grease 2, Staying Alive, which was the sequel to Saturday Night Fever. Oh shit, I think I'm.
I think you might be back.
Can y'all
Yeah,
hear me?
I could hear you the whole time.
Okay, what all did you? Okay, you could hear me the whole time. Okay, I couldn't hear you guys for some reason. But anyway, he produced Staying Alive, which was the sequel to Saturday Night Fever, not nearly as successful, and he produced Evita in '96, which I think was pretty successful. That had Madonna in it. So yeah, he's just like a big producer of these like musical movies. I thought it was what I learned that he produced Grease, and then I had to go listen to the theme song of Grease
Mhm.
because that movie's fucking a favorite of mine. Say what you want about it. Um, ooh, go ahead, fill some space because I saw something I wanted to touch on, but I need to look at it. So somebody fill some space here.
Well,
Mm.
I I can't really get into final thoughts. You got any theories, Spooge, that you want to share about the movie?
Any
Any
theories about the movie? I think it was all. I think it's all a play.
all an illusion?
It was all a dream.
I used to read Word Up magazine.
Okay, this is what I wanted to see. Okay, so Michael Schultz was the director of this movie. And that is significant, because, and I just lost it. Um, so he was an African American director. Let's see my little thing here. I just had it. I'm being gaslit. Okay. Um, this was the first major American motion picture to be directed by an African American. Um, it says this sucks though. However, after this film and The Wiz, also in the same year, 1978, bombed at the box office, major studios were reluctant to hire African American directors for years.
Damn it.
That's fucking
Which
shame. The Wiz is good.
I call bullshit because this movie was actually a financial success. It wasn't a like a blockbuster hit, but it did make over double its budget
hmm
back.
They just making
So
excuses.
they just fucking making excuses.
I mean,
Yeah, that's
some
the
of that
biggest problem. It's because movies don't
I
do good.
I hate that I gotta play devil's advocate. Some of that might have just been from people going, "Oh shit, the Beatles, Sergeant Pepper's Lonely Heart Band. Let's go fucking see that." And then they go into the theater, not paying attention to the poster or anything, or they just have the poster
Where's the
with the
Beatles?
cornet. And then, yeah, the fucking Bee Gees come out instead of the Beatles.
Mm.
Like, some people must have been pissed.
Did the Wiz bomb?
Apparently,
Uh,
that's
I can
yes,
see
it did.
that because I mean, yeah, just population-wise and the time, I don't think the majority of
Yeah.
American audience was watching that.
The Wiz is
Either.
good though. We watched The Wiz. I think that's one of our lost reviews was for The Wiz.
We never watched the Wiz.
Yeah, we did. We've watched The Wiz.
No, I didn't.
Yeah, we have.
We never watched the Wiz. I've never seen the Wiz.
I strongly remember watching The Wiz because there's an actor in there that's very problematic that I completely forgot was in the movie. He plays the Scarecrow.
Was it like
and
Bill
we were-
Cosby or something?
No, it's fucking Michael Jackson.
Was it Michael Jackson?
Yeah, he
Okay, I
plays the
mean,
Scarecrow.
No, I've never seen that. I've never seen a Michael Jackson scare. I remember this. We never reviewed
I
this.
could have
I don't think this is a
swore.
little-
I could have fucking swore. I
I
will
feel
have
like
to,
we're gonna have to watch
pull
them.
it up. But yeah, we'll
Redux
have to watch the
Imaginary
fucking
Redux.
Wiz.
I don't. I can't remember any like even lost episodes. I can remember me going on like Michael Jackson rants or anything. That
It'll be
No,
a
no.
Redux,
While we
or
were
is
watching it, it should be in the group chat. Like our speed. Like I'd have to scroll all the way back, but I should have like our jokes and stuff while we were watching it on our group chat.
group chat, like you mean all the with multiple people, like not just me?
No, just
I know
not
I've
group
never
chat.
watched
Our
this.
chat. Our chat.
Okay, our
Our
chat.
personal chat.
Okay,
My bades.
gotcha.
But yeah,
I
it
don't.
should be the or we should.
I don't
there should
remember
be
watching
a
that.
slew
We
of
wa-
jokes because I remember watching it.
We watched the fucking Romeo and Juliet like rap one, but I don't remember. I don't remember the
Romeo
Wiz.
and Juliet rap one. What?
Yeah, remember didn't there that Romeo and Juliet that was like it was straight up Romeo and
The
Juliet,
Romeo
but it was
Must
all
Die?
like
Oh, you
Romeo
talking
Must
about
You didn't show me that?
Leonardo? That's not a rap. That's not rap though. That's
I can't
literally.
remember that.
They Romeo and Juliet with Leonardo DiCaprio literally takes the direct script from Romeo and Juliet.
Oh, okay, yeah, it was
And
okay, yeah.
they're
For some reason, I
calling their
remember them
guns swords
rapping
and
it.
shit. No.
You just thought it was a rap because it
I
was
just thought it was a
so
rap. Yeah.
No,
'Cause it's
that's
so
not
hip.
even.
Because
They
it
don't
did.
even.
because it was so. These. Oh no, it's 2000. No, well, that's the one with Jet Li. That doesn't have. Romeo has it does it has Jet Li, DMX. This Leah has to be what I'm talking about.
I haven't seen that one.
I don't know about that one.
Not Leonardo. Okay.
I've
How many are there? God damn.
the one that I'm talking about is known as Romeo and Juliet Plus. It's
Or is
usually
it
they
Shakespeare? Okay, not
Mhm.
Shakespeare in Love. That's also another '90s
nah
Shakespeare
nah
movie.
mine is the one that I'm talking about is definitely like usually written as Romeo Juliet with a plus sign at the end for some fucking reason.
Yeah,
Mhm.
Romeo plus Juliet.
Yeah.
These all came
Yeah.
out in that 4 year period.
Weird year.
we
But anyway,
did
that I
did
remember
do
doing
that
that,
one.
but I don't remember the Wiz. I
If
still have
I'm
never
not,
seen the Wiz.
I could have swore The Wiz was one of our lost episodes that's on my other laptop. I could be wrong, but I'd have to be able to search the chat, which I can't search the chats
That was
anymore.
you.
So that would have been around with Buster Scruggs and stuff, because that was one of our other lost episodes, right?
I believe so.
Yeah. I definitely
po-
didn't watch
You
Wiz
popped
around
in.
then.
You popped into a different dimension. Maybe that happened in the Berenstein dimension.
Bernstein, goddamn Bernstein,
Maybe my
jumping in and
goddamn
out.
time
Keep time
crimes.
criming us.
Just before we get into final thoughts, just want to say so Kiss was approached to play the future villain band, and they
Oh,
turned down the
thank
role,
God.
fearing that they turned down the role, fearing that the movie would hurt their image, and instead starred in Kiss Meets the Phantom of the Park.
Bad call there, guys. Bad call there.
Like
I
even
mean,
This
even if
they
this movie
weren't
comparing the
really
supposedly
movie
destroyed the Bee
comparing the
Gees, like
movies, this would have elevated their image.
yeah, because
it
I feel
didn't.
like this,
It didn't destroy Aerosmith. It didn't
yeah,
destroy
they
Aerosmith.
got a
So.
good they got a good cover out of it, a good single out of it. they profited.
I would personally, I would rather Aerosmith be
Oh
the.
yeah, Kiss fucking sucks. I'm sorry to say.
Oh
Other than
no,
some good
they do
couple
fucking
good
suck.
songs, they fucking
The only
blow.
reason why
Plus, I just
I ever loved Kiss was because they do a cool little cameo in Tony Hawk Underground where you can literally skateboard as Gene Simmons in platform boots.
Kiss's image is greater than
Yeah,
their
they're fun to
visuals.
look at.
So yeah,
Yeah,
great to look at. They've
they're
made the production of their shows great, fun, super fun.
Mhm.
Music,
they're the
not for me.
they're the poppy of their generation. Looks metal as fuck, but
Yeah,
once you start listening to it,
I've also
it's just pop rock.
seen I've seen Gene Simmons in a John Stamos movie. um, it was like the villain of a like '80s John Stamos movie. It's wild. Um, and just like another little fun fact here in the Bee Gees tried to get dropped from the film 2 weeks into production, and they were not
Damn,
successful.
damn.
Oh, that explains why the drummer is just so disheveled and doesn't perform at all. He he was doing
They
all
were
he fucking
also the
could.
ones kind of they were the ones kind of being a dick to Peter Frampton because Peter Frampton was such a new artist, but he was like already like selling platinum, like
Mm.
with his first album, and I think they were kind of salty, to be honest.
Little divas, little fucking divas.
They were being divas, man. They didn't even have to, they Peter Frampton was not a threat to them.
Hey, cocaine's hell of a drug.
They got yeah, it's
The
true.
solo guitarist is gonna destroy
That
our
could be
disco
the
critics.
tagline. It could be the tagline for this movie.
Mm.
Oh man.
But that's really all I've got here on production. I mean, there's more, but those are
Mm.
the there are some things about like John Travolta was approached just for a cameo of his movie because he was so successful in Saturday Night Fever, but the only reason he did not do it is because he was on a press tour for Grease.
Hmm.
Oh man, I that would have been cool seeing him dancing around.
Yeah, he would have been great. And this was Frankie Howard's final film and first American film.
Oh
Hmm.
man,
Oh damn.
that's cool to know though that we at least we got him one time. He
Hmm.
wasn't.
We
They
got him
weren't
one time.
keeping. They wasn't able to keep him from us. That's the good thing.
We should like look for some of his movies because some of them look kind of wild. These like weird British 60s
Oh,
His
how
comedies.
he moves and everything. I bet they get kind of real campy crazy.
Oh, and I do want to say, originally the Bee Gees and Peter Frampton were given spoken dialogue. However, since Frampton and the Bee Gees, okay, I'm going to read it, but this is wrong. Since Frampton and the Bee Gees had British accents, the Bee Gees were Australian. Their speaking voices were not in line with the movie taking place in Middle America, so they did away with all the spoken dialogue and just used George Burns.
It really
Okay,
affected.
that's why.
It really affected me during my mind expansion watch of it. And not hearing Peter's voice, I was like, "What the fuck does his speaking voice sound like?" like, because
Which
there's
this little piece of
moments
trivia, like, is it's saying that the Bee Gees are British, which the Bee Gees are Australian, right? Let's
I I I
I don't
cannot
know.
confirm that, but there are moments where like he is speaking, Peter speaking, but the narrator is saying what he's saying and stuff. So it's like, why is it doing this?
yeah,
That's good to know.
yeah. They're from Australia. Bee Gees are from
Yeah,
Australia.
Nice, nice.
I
We would
actually didn't know
never
that.
know from their singing voices.
Though it looks like they were born on the Isle of Man.
Oh shit.
Yeah.
All of them.
Uh, it says born on the Isle of Man to English parents. The Gibb brothers lived in Trolton, Manchester, England,
Okay.
until the late
So
50s,
maybe, so
and
maybe
then they
they
moved to
were.
Queensland.
Yeah, I think they grew up in Australia. Which I
Yeah.
think I'm reading the same thing as you, and it says they formed the skiff rock and roll group called the Rattlesnakes, which I need to hear some of the Rattlesnakes tracks. Well,
The rattlesnakes. Oh shit! I just clicked the rattlesnake. The little kids like screaming into the microphone. It looks, looks funny. It might sound good, but in this picture,
well, I
it
might have
doesn't look
to
like it
not.
does.
I might have to diddle Rattlesnakes. But yeah, we want to get final thoughts.
Yeah, I
Yes.
think it's final thoughts time. Who wants to go first? We want to end on the most positive note, correct?
That might be me.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
I'm.
might be the
definitely.
most positive note.
Yeah. So, Spooge, do you want to go
So
before
you go ahead
me?
and start,
I'll probably be the
or
quickest
Spooch.
because my voice is getting a little sore.
All right,
I'll
so
give
you
mine
go,
out of one.
Spooch.
Yeah. Very
Do
nice,
it.
very good round. Um, it was. I'd give it like a. I mean, this is the first movie I actually ever tripped to. It was fun. Crazy experience. Um.
Can I just say something about that?
Yes.
So it was a long time ago. It was probably about I mean it was when Spooge was in high school, I'll say. Um and I didn't know that he got into my stash of shrooms.
You gotta watch out when I'm
I
on the
didn't know
vodka.
this. So he this little motherfucker got into my stash without me knowing it.
Which
And
I didn't
I'm
eat all of them. You thought
I'm
I ate all
watching
of them,
this
but I didn't.
movie.
I ate half of them.
I did think you ate all of them and then you only ate half, but whatever. And because we were planning on watching this movie, and then like you were all late, and then you come in midway through the movie, you stare at the screen for a little bit, and you go, "Are there 1,000 faces on the screen right now?" I'm just looking at you, Like, what the fuck are you talking about? I had no idea that you were tripping because you didn't
I
say
saw
it.
them in kaleidoscope vision.
And I was like trying to see where you were seeing a thousand faces.
I thought like because it was a psychedelic movie, so I thought like maybe that was happening.
And then I did realize what was happening and I was like I was mad, but I was like, you know what? He's tripping right now, so this is not the time for like reprimand. Like I'm not gonna ruin his time because I'm mad that he went and ate all my fucking shrooms. So I just let you have fun.
Uh, what
Oh
a
yeah.
But
great
yeah, that's a
experience, though.
little yeah, a little memory about that. Go ahead, you can finish, Spooch. Sorry.
But yeah, it's, it's fun. It's fun little romp, fun little trip. Not like probably not like the strongest movie. I think we said earlier. I don't know if that was in the pre-show or not, but it's not one I like come back to like super often. But it's fun with the group. It's fun. Get real stoned. Watch. Have a nice time. Enjoy the music. Enjoy the silly imagery. I give it 4 out of 5 for experience.
Nice.
All
Yeah.
right. Was that all you had to say?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I will
He's got a
go.
throat sore.
Yeah, I
I got the
understand.
Freddy Krueger through.
Just making sure he didn't have anything else to add before
Gotta make sure
I
you
start.
you gargle with salt water tonight.
Yeah, I will. Hopefully I
So,
won't puke.
I am kind of glad that we talked about this movie because before we did this review, this is not my final rating. My initial rating for this was a solid 3. I couldn't suggest this for the main population because I do heavily think that this movie requires a bit of help to not enjoy it but to understand what's going
You just
on.
made a you just made a Beatles pun. I just needed to say.
I not
Sorry.
not
You
intended,
made a Beatles pun.
but but fuck yeah.
Continue.
but um, but yeah, it's so I am gonna raise my rating up from a 3 to a solid 4.5. 4.5 out of 5. Um, with Spooge as well. I did have a mind expansion experience to this. It wasn't my first time. I do regret. I strongly wish that I was having a mind expansion during this for the first time viewing it because the first time viewing it, I was like, I love the music. This is great and all, but it's not it's not
You wasn't seeing the magic.
yeah, it wasn't there. It wasn't clicking for me. But when I tripped to it, it was like, "Oh, okay. I understand. I can see the plot now. I can follow along with it. It's not complicated at all. It's a great musical. The songs that are covered are fucking great. It's not my favorite Beatles song, but the first Beatles song that I've ever tripped to, and my favorite song from this album, "Lucy in the Sky with Diamonds," is in this, and it's great. It's the performance of this, definitely my favorite performance of all the songs in this. Um, Another one would be Mr. Mustard. He he nailed every scene that he's in. I'm laughing, and he reminds me of somebody that I know that was also a nasty, mean old man. So it's it's just great that having him on the screen at any point. There's not a point where I'm I'm like, oh, turn it off. I definitely suggest to watch it, and if you can, definitely watch it as a group. It's not something that I'm gonna revisit by myself, per se, but definitely do trips with this with your friends. It's definitely worth it. So 4.5 out of 5 for me as well.
Gotta open your
Well,
old stinky wizard eyes.
Oh yeah, those wizard eyes, I'm telling you, they
well,
will show you some
hell
deadly
yeah.
things.
Oh
Your both of your ratings make me very happy, I must say. Even your initial rating before you tripped to it, I was like, you know what? That's as much as I thought I could get. That's more than I thought I could get. But it's funny that we're ending with me because my rating is actually lower than yours, Smokey. It's not much lower. I'm giving it a 4. So I started out as a 5 because I personally love this movie. It is one that I revisit all the time. Like I watch it like probably every other year or like somewhere around that. But like I usually do watch it in a group. It's like a very fun group movie. You gotta go in expecting camp and like fun covers. Like the covers are great, the cameos are great, visuals are really fun. Like the all the sequences are very fun. The plot makes no sense. You're not really paying much attention to what's happening with the plot. You're just kind of moving from sweet music sequence to music sequence. Um, I was going to
The plot
I
makes
thought
sense
I
if
was
you're
going to give
tripping.
this sure. I don't know that I've ever I've usually been just like I had an edible, like a very strong edible or like smoked some weed or something with this movie. I don't know if I've ever partaken in like the trips that you guys had with this movie. So maybe that's, next time I watch this movie, that's goals for me. Um I've always watched this movie just like weed and for sure on edibles, like with the strongest edibles that I've ever made.
oh
That's
yeah.
something that those cookies, we spread those around and watched them as a group many times. And
Oh yeah.
I showed this movie to tons of people with the same reaction because of these edibles. And they're always
Hmm.
just having a fucking blast with this movie.
Only edibles that ever worked on me.
Yeah. This, these this movie's a blast when you're like with a group and like on something strong. Um
Mm.
I thought I was going to give it a 5. The only reason I'm not giving it as a 5 is because we watched this movie alongside some movies that we are reviewing next weekend. And those movies, I can't give it away yet, obviously, but those movies are just such knockouts that I didn't feel I could give it a 5 just
Hmm.
because of the timing that we watched. And I know we
Same.
try not to compare movies on these reviews. Like we try not to
I
compare
do.
them because it doesn't always make sense to compare them, Like
Mm.
I wouldn't
it
compare
doesn't
this to
always.
Mandy. you know.
Yeah, each movie should be like an individual, but since we watched 3 movies kind of as a, group, I just those other movies just kind of blow it out of the water in terms of like my personal viewing. Um, so that's why this movie gets a 4. I'm surprised at myself because I came into this movie like I'm giving this movie a 5 out of 5 no matter fucking what. I also thought I was gonna have to defend it harder. So I was coming in real hot. I was coming in real hot and thought I was gonna be the only one to like rate this movie highly. So I was ready to defend it. I didn't even have to defend it, which is great. I'm so happy. This is the greatest ending to the birthday picks that I could have asked for. This is
Hell yeah.
all this that has developed from watching this movie because next weekend is directly because we watched this movie and got in the madness of all these things that are happening. So I'm so happy. This movie gets a 4, which is a very high rating. This
Very
movie
hard.
in my heart, I will always love this movie. I revisit it all the fucking time, way more than you guys do. And I
Mhm.
always just I have such a blast. Just go watch this movie knowing that it's campy, the music's great, and you're just gonna have fun. This is not Gone with the Wind. Those people can go fuck, you know?
Go fuck.
They can go fuck.
If they
That's
We're
even
right.
know how.
They're crazy.
four. They crazy.
Oh.
They crazy.
Yeah, that I'm surprised that you're not gonna just take half a point off and give it a 4.5 so we could have that across the board.
I think Spooch gave it a 4.
Yeah, I just gave it a 4 too.
Oh, I mistaken you saying 4 out of 5 for a 4.5. My beads.
Yeah,
No, no
Smokey, you're the
problem.
highest rating on this, and that,
I have to.
I'm
I got
just,
it's
I am fucking tickled and thrilled to death about all
like
of this.
I was saying when you're tripping during this the plot is just it's so it's there like it's definitely like there is a band that served in a war that we didn't really point that out, but Sergeant Pepper did serve in the Great War, and then they started a band together, and after to keep that band alive, they asked their grandchildren to be that band still, and their grandchildren were so good at being that band that they got successful, but in their success they lose their way, and because they lose their way, also their town loses their way, kind of like their soul, their heartland, they the representation of them falls along with them, and then once they realize what happened, they fix their ways and they go back and they end up saving the day, and it's all happy and go lucky at the end of the day because love is all
I
you
love
need.
it. Love is all
And
you need. That's all we gotta say.
yeah, that's and I think that's it. I think we've done
That's it.
Yeah, insert Samuel L. Jackson from Pulp Fiction on the phone.
it.
That's all you gotta say.
God damn it, I gotta make a timestamp. What is the time? I'm sorry that I'm talking shop. 2:12. All right, so that I believe I can get into the outro now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, if you been listening to us ramble for 2 hours about this movie, thank you so much. Please, if you do not mind, comment what you think about this film in the comment section below. Leave a like on the video and share it around. Share it on the Beatles Reddit. I'm gonna just go ahead and do that. See what get.
And
Let's see what they
please,
think.
please tune in next week because we got some more fucking Beatles ass shit coming up.
Oh yes, the Beatles
More.
mania has not stopped. It is. It's death defying.
It's
Beatles
only
mania
just
is a
begun.
Beatles mania is a way of life for me, so it never stops.
Oh, it's a bunch of murd.
Murder.
Oh, and
Synchronicity.
yes, and there was something else. There's something else. Oh yes, subscribe to the channel, please, and turn on notifications so you can know when we go live for our live reviews and for when you can get our let's plays so you know when those get posted because I'm pretty bad at keeping the schedule with those, and you get the edited versions as well of these. So yeah. And this is where
Hell
I
yeah.
go, hey, does any of my co-hosts have a sign off?
I mean, Spooge already said it best. All you need is love. Love is all you need.
And I do have a theory. Barry Gibb was dead the whole time. There you go. Blow your minds.
All right. And yeah, of course I gotta sign off. I gotta remind you to tell your children that cats die, music fades, but art is for keeps. And this shit is some motherfucking art. Your boy, and go hell,
Yeah, boy.
Henry Sabrowski. Motherfuckers. This will
Yeah.
be a bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.